Hi Umpile, we're going to prepare for your prepared reading assessment, which you are doing on the 15th. Here is a story that you need to learn how to read. But before we get into it, let's look at the questions that you will need to answer. What would be a good title for this story? So what name can we give to this story? Once you've read it, what do you think a good name for it will be? Number 2, why do you think that Stan thought that a more expensive bike would not have any problem? And number 3, do you think Daniel deserved to win the race and why? How does reading the questions first help us? It gives us clues as to what the story is about. Just by reading these questions, we already know that there's a boy named Stan in the book. We already know that there's a boy named Daniel in the book. We already know that, in the story, we already know that Daniel won a race. We already know that Stan thought that a more expensive bike was not going to have a problem. So these are the clues that we have received, or we have been able to get. These are the clues we've been able to get just by reading the questions first. We know it's a story that has a bike and two boys. One is named Stan, one is named Daniel. Daniel wins a race, and Stan thought that expensive bikes don't have problems. Now let's read the story. The aim is that we're going to practice reading this story until you can read it by yourself in less than a minute, until it takes you a minute to read it. Stan and Daniel were the fastest bike riders in the whole school. They decided to have a big race on Saturday. Daniel put air in his tires. He oiled the chain. He checked the frame of his bike to make sure everything was just right. Stan did not do anything to his bike. His bike had cost 3 times as much as Daniel's bike. Stan thought that nothing could possibly go wrong. He laughed about the work Daniel was doing while he watched a movie. Stan and Daniel arrived at the race the next day. Bob shouted, "Go!" The boys began to pedal. Suddenly, Stan heard a noise. The chain had fallen off his bike. Daniel kept on pedaling and won the race. So we're going to keep reading the story over and over again until you get better at reading it by yourself, and then we'll practice for the